everyone, hope you are all doing well. Welcome back to my channel and finally welcome back to yet another video essay. And today we're going to be tackling a huge topic. Yes folks, today is all about the dark side of K-pop stage outfits. Now this is a wide topic, so let's first lay down a table of contents so we can really get into it. We're gonna start off light with absurd K-pop outfits. This includes stuff like this, where you're forced to wonder what the stylist was even thinking. Then we are going to continue into an important discussion. Do stylists sabotage certain idols on purpose? And we'll discuss a phenomenon that I've discovered among stylists and idols. No spoilers, but it's pretty good. Next, we're going to move into the serious topics, uncomfortable outfits. Whether it be the wrong size and fit for an idol or completely inappropriate, we'll talk about it all. Lastly, we'll weigh in on some good stage outfit examples so that we all can get an understanding of what we prefer to see in the future. A Swiffer, cabbage, bedsheets, and a pillowcase. What do all of these things have in common? Well, these are all things that have been compared to absolutely atrocious K-pop stage outfits. These outfits kind of make you think these stylists were given an end-of-the-year assignment and only a week to turn it in. But if you wanted a visual representation of what my end-of-the-year assignments look like, yep, there it is. I don't know if these outfits are stylists trying to set new trends and failing, or they're all just back there snickering like, let's see if they let us get away with this. And I won't act like I'm qualified to talk shit on stylists, even though we all know I belong front row at Fashion Week. Okay, maybe not, but this video of mine has some pretty good looks if you want to check it out. But if these stylists are genuinely thinking of trying something creative and out of the box, surely they see how ridiculous it looks after they put it on the idol. Surely seeing Wendy roam around like this might make them think, this shouldn't be a trend because it looks awful. Unless they're thinking of trying runway trends on idols, which might not be the best idea. Runway looks aren't designed to be practical or comfortable. They are designed specifically to get a message across, or in most cases, shock factor. Then, consumers and stylists get pieces and style them practically. Of course, there are some looks that can just be copied straight out, but others need a creative mindset to make them look good, or more suitable. Maybe a snip here and there, a contrasting top, or, a big fire to burn it in. But it's one thing to make a model walk a few feet in these absurd clothes, and a whole other to send an idol out there in outfits like these, knowing full well they have to dance out entire choreographies and manage to look pretty at the end of it. The most notable example that I can think of for absurd outfits is Red Velvet, mostly during Zimzalabim, and Blackpink during their debut until D4. But don't worry, Reveluvs and Blinks, when we discuss good stage outfits, I'll be mentioning these two groups again. A huge reminder to not use this video for fan wars. This is just about the stage outfits and not the idols. Getting back to Red Velvet, their outfits are just like their concepts. You never know what to expect, but unlike their songs, not every outfit is good. Because what in the actual Muppets is going on here? And this? But then you turn around and you're served with gems like these. It couldn't possibly be the same stylist. For Zimzalabim, you could make an argument that the concept was supposed to be funky, and some of the outfits were kinda okay. I mean, they weren't ones that I would wear out, but they do look good on stage and seem to be comfortable to perform in. Let's just say we got some terrible outfits, but also some good ones, but there was a hint of cohesion somewhere in there. And stylistically, this era's styling did stand out among Red Velvet's other songs. But what's the excuse for styling playing with fire like this, when I tell you there wasn't even one cohesive stage? And who thinks these outfits are even remotely fit for a song like Stay? Even when it comes to Boombaya, As If It's Your Last, and Whistle, while some stages were really cute, most of the others just seemed uncoordinated.
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
Their stage outfits as well as their red carpet outfits just seemed all over the place, and I'm guessing that stylist got fired because if they continue to style Blackpink, let's just say they might not be getting any invites to any fashion events. Now here, if you don't look at their hair colors, you wouldn't be able to distinguish between their comebacks. Like really quick, which one of these do you think is from As If It's Your Last? Just kidding, they're all from As If It's Your Last. Actually, I'm kidding again, they're all from Whistle, but you can see how they seemingly blend together. It's important for each song to have a different aesthetic, and song-wise it was possible. While all of these songs are girl crush concepts, it could have been distinct when it came to aesthetic. But nope, their stylist found a 2012 Forever 21 reject bin and went to town. If they weren't as gorgeous as they are, these outfits would have never passed. No thought, no color coordination, no theme, but so much pattern clashing, color clashing, and of course, the infamous YG stylists. Let's cut it up, shall we? This is the epitome of you don't deserve me at my this if you didn't love me at my this. Another example of absurd outfits is Itzy, but it somehow fits their concept, so I'll give them a little bit of a pass. But still, some of their outfits are inexcusable. At least they don't usually have to deal with overly constricting outfits considering their dances require a lot of movement, and they shouldn't have to be bothered about their clothes. But Itzy's stylist's biggest offense is reusing the same damn outfit. Now we'll get into sustainable fashion a little later on into the video, but there's a difference between being sustainable, which is reusing the same material and fabric so clothes aren't disposably used and then wasted, and wearing the exact same look again and again and again and again. Like, damn, at least split up the top and pants or pair it with something else or just style it differently. Maybe give the top to another member, the pants to another. Literally just change it a bit. Reusing the same look is fine, but maybe not this much. Which makes you think, do stylists do this on purpose? There are certain idols in some groups that fans always suspect are being dressed down in comparison to the other members. Most notably Jonghyun from Twice, Lisa and maybe Jisoo from Blackpink, Wendy and maybe Yeri from Red Velvet, Aespa's Giselle, and some others. These idols are not only given the most low-effort outfits, it also seems like they're the ones stylists try weird stuff on the most. And of course, give them outfits that don't fit their body types. Now, I want to actually present an idea that I don't think anybody has brought up before, so feel free to credit me in any future textbooks as this is pretty revolutionary. I think stylists give roles to certain members based on their image, age, role, and position in the group. Let me elaborate. The member often seen as the sexiest, like Sana and Momo, Joy, Karina, Nayeon, Soojin, etc. are given the shortest and tightest clothes. They're always given variations of the same type of clothes, but mostly the tightest and shortest outfits. Here is some proof. In comparison to the rest of the members, you can see that Sana and Momo, Joy, Karina, Nayeon, and Soojin always get the shortest, or one could say sexiest, clothes. This applies to male idols as well. Taking members like HYBE from EXO and always giving them the most revealing and sexy outfits, usually cropped, sheer, or plunging necklines. Now, there is an important point that needs to be mentioned. For both male and female idols, if the idols are comfortable and okay with actually wanting to show off their bodies they've worked hard to tone, by the way, go ahead, I have no problem and you shouldn't either. But in some cases, it seems like these idols are uncomfortable, especially while dancing. I think this is more evident in the case of female idols while they are dancing in shorter dresses. And the worst is when this is done to underage idols, because like I said in my Lolita video, check it out if you haven't yet, let's not sexualize children, please. Another role that stylists could create for these members could be the favorite, or at least the main or central. Now, before y'all give me hate for insinuating that any idol is privileged, wait. They all work hard and this is not an excuse to target and hate on idols. But that also doesn't mean we pretend like there aren't certain members that get the best, most expensive, and visually appealing outfits. Some are even put in completely different colors or styles to highlight them. Such idols include Jennie from Blackpink, Wonyoung from HYBE, Aespa's Winter and Karina, and maybe sometimes Irene from Red Velvet and Neon from Twice. While in some cases it can be said that they pick a certain style that's prettier for centers or visuals, in other cases outfits are picked so badly that it makes the other members look like backup dancers. What do you think? Again, this is not a reason to pick on these idols. I highly doubt they go to their stylists and bribe them to give them better outfits. It's just that these stylists seem to have a bias, which is completely fine, it's just like all of us. But they let that interject with their jobs because come on, how could this be fair? I haven't really seen many examples of male idols for this case, so comment below if any come to your mind. I know that I might be leaning into female idols more when explaining, and I'm really sorry, but I'm more familiar with women's fashion and fashion among girl groups in K-pop, and I want to stick with stuff I actually know. Moving on, there is the resident. They have a slightly different body type, therefore I will forever dress them incorrectly so they look really frumpy gang. Welcome to the stage, Miss Yeri, Ningning, Chungyeon, and at some points, Somi, Nancy, and Jisoo. Yeri and Ningning are nowhere near overweight, but because of their body shapes and the clothes stylists gave them, they were fat-shamed. See the difference? I mean, I don't mind either outfit to be honest, but in an industry where 1 pound over the limit might get you fat-shamed, you can see why a better and more flattering fit might be desired. I didn't include Hwasa because I feel like she takes creative control when dressing herself. Therefore, even though she has a different body type in comparison to K-pop's median and was body shamed, she still manages to come out with amazing looks and dress to highlight her body type. In Jungyeon's case, not only did they do her dirty in the past, they have continued to do so now as well. So Jungyeon gained some weight after her hiatus, which is completely normal and completely okay, but some of the outfits she was given make her seem constricted and stiff, when she's nowhere near stiff as a performer. Well, I think some of the outfits given to her are actually super cute, like these ones, and I think they fit her really well. I actually think overall Jungyeon is never dressed ugly, and maybe that's because she's so gorgeous and nothing can look bad on her. But when researching, I wouldn't say I found many ugly outfits. I'd say low effort and plain would be more accurate. At this point, I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit while recording, so sorry, but you're gonna hear a lot of scratchiness from now on.
Okay, and what do you want me to do about that?
Anyway, to be honest, if it were up to me, I'd just say, hey, screw the rules, screw the ideals, dress however you want. All bodies are beautiful as long as you are happy and healthy. But unfortunately, netizens aren't all big brain geniuses like me. So when you know that the industry you work in fixates on body type, proportions, etc. so damn much, I would focus on really zeroing in on finding the right outfits to flatter an idol's body types instead of, expecting these idols to mold their bodies to fit your clothes. That's just the wrong way around and 10 times harder. Getting back to the roles, another one is the tomboy role for female idols. Idols like Seulgi, Moonbyul, Dami, Lisa, etc. While I wouldn't really regard them as tomboys as that's more of a personality style and I find it doesn't really reflect these idols, it's the closest definition for this category. Often given pants, coats, just more menswear inspired clothing, and I'm not mad about it. I actually like the fact that these idols can dance without worrying that they flash somebody, but other times I feel like it can dull their shine and make them look too plain. I've seen this the most in Moonbyul's case, but as long as she's comfortable, I guess it's okay. I just think there is a better way to keep this aesthetic of menswear while still dressing it up. There are probably many more such roles, but I'm gonna stop there. Comment below some roles that you think you've noticed, if any come to your mind, and I'd love to read through them. Anyway, my point is that while I don't think stylists purposely sabotage or highlight certain members, they do either unconsciously or consciously create personas for certain members based on different aspects and then divide clothes accordingly. And there isn't anything inherently wrong with it, but it can get very monotonous if you keep these rigid categories because, well, human beings don't stay the same, and with different comebacks, these idols probably want to show off different charms, and getting input from idols, latest fashion trends, considering their body types, etc. is a much better way to style idols. But of course, this is all hypothetical. We don't really know how stuff goes on behind the scenes. But hey, this is just what I think. Before we move on, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you are enjoying this video, it takes a lot of work, so I'd really appreciate it. And I'm losing my voice, so please thumbs up for my efforts as well. And back to the video. Now we are getting into the heavy topic, uncomfortable outfits. Now, I've already mentioned this briefly, but sometimes idols are given clothes that are just unreasonable to dance in, whether it be too much fabric or too little. It feels like stylists end up prioritizing aesthetics rather than considering that idols have to move around and dance and perform and end up not looking awkward or extremely sweaty. But also keep in mind that what you find uncomfortable can be very different from what a certain idol finds uncomfortable. Let's bring up this outfit that Joy rocked a few weeks ago for Feel My Rhythm and got shamed for. Comments along the lines of "she looks fat," "it's too revealing," "she looks uncomfortable," etc. No, she doesn't. In fact, she looked pretty darn confident and gorgeous. Just because she doesn't have the hourglass frame that you expect in these outfits doesn't mean she looks fat or uncomfortable. Now to what is actually uncomfortable. Let's start off with too much fabric. I've noticed this with Jungho of Ateez and recently Jonghyun from Twice too, that sometimes while trying to cover up members, they end up going too far, which makes the idols look constricted or suffocated. Both Jungho and Jonghyun's performances seem vastly different when seen in easier, flowier, and less rigid clothing. And this isn't to say that their clothing should be more revealing, just maybe not so inflexible. Other examples include clothes that are just a hazard on stage, outfits that are not meant to be moved in, and of course, the outfits that are every upskirt fancam account's favorite. I have a whole video on this if you want to check it out. An example of outfits that are uncomfortable to perform in would be this outfit from BTS's Onstage, where everyone looks like spilled foundation bottles, which, it's an okay shade range, I guess, but what in the farmer's market potato sack is going on? Not only does it look extremely ugly, but it's also not very comfortable to perform in. So let's not do this, okay? And while we're at BTS, a little message to Louis Vuitton whenever they're styling BTS. Have you guys heard of alteration? Because half the look is the fit, so please, just do a little measure and tuck. It's really not that hard. It makes the members look good and it makes your clothes look good, so it's really a win-win situation. Before we start discussing shorter outfits, I think it's very, very important for me to mention that a lot of people, when talking about these shorter dresses, end up in a way, probably unconsciously, shaming these kinds of clothes, which is a huge no for me. The problem is not the clothes, the problem is who's wearing them. Obviously, clothes that are overtly sexual aren't made for kids, so underage idols shouldn't be given risque outfits. Along with that, idols who feel uncomfortable and constantly keep pulling their dresses up or down, or feel uncomfortable dancing in such outfits, should not be given such outfits. At least not without safety shorts or tights that make them feel comfortable, because these outfits are pretty stinking cute, provided they're given proper garments so that nothing is exposed while moving around. For idols like Nayeon from Twice, I don't really see them being uncomfortable with shorter outfits. This could just be me, I don't know them personally, but just as an example, for idols like that, I don't really see an issue with shorter garments as long as they can perform in it safely. But for idols like Irene or Chewy, they don't seem as comfortable, and their performances and the energy they put in are vastly different when they are given a more comfortable outfit. Basically, prioritize comfort and don't just jump to ban a certain style of clothing. When people collectively hate on shorter outfits, I don't really get it because you don't know if a certain idol is uncomfortable or not. In most cases, they have safety shorts, and if the garment isn't too tight, they might actually feel just fine, and they certainly look cute. It's just important to note that these outfits should only be given to those that want to wear them. Being forced into it is a literal nightmare, and like I said in my upskirt fancam video, it's not the idol's fault for getting sexualized. It's the people who film them and portray them inappropriately. Just saying, there isn't really anything sexual about kneecaps. So, like I said before, that kind of control over the kind of outfits you wear should be passed to the people that are actually wearing the outfit. This is a great time to remind y'all that just because an idol showed a certain part of their body during one comeback, it doesn't automatically mean they are willing to do it anytime. How comfortable and confident someone is with their body is not constant, so it's not great to assume that an idol is always down to show off their abs or their arms or whatever just because they did it once in the past. And getting to these kinds of t-shirts, I think some of them are just hilarious, ironically, while others are just plain weird. I totally understand that the stylists may not know what the particular text means, but come on, someone among the staff or the members would have noticed, right? In cases like these, I think it's absolutely fine, it's funny, and doesn't really cause any harm. But here, absolutely not. And while we're here, let's talk about IVE Eugen's bra top that caused a lot of noise among netizens a few months ago. I will admit that when I saw this, I actually didn't hate it. I don't think there's anything sexual about it really, especially since she has a t-shirt underneath. But I also understand that IVE members are almost all underage and super young, and dressing them up controversially like this is wrong. Another thing that isn't really uncomfortable but definitely makes me irk is when every single member in a group is given the exact same outfit. Just like outfits that do not match at all, outfits that are exactly the same piss me off too. Now, before you call me picky and impossible to please, I already know, but also I feel like a lot of people agree with me here. I get that they probably want the choreography to look uniform, but it just reminds me of school performances, and to me it takes away each member's unique charm and identity. They end up looking like backup dancers. Speaking of which, I actually really love when backup dancers get elevated outfits too. Just saying. In fact, using a similar style but just tweaking each outfit a bit is enough for me. I think as full-grown actual performers, we really need to leave the 4th grade choir performance serve behind. So now, we've covered the several ways to mess up an outfit. Wrong size, wrong fit, dumpster dive quality, uncomfortable and boring, but now we're gonna flip the script and discuss good examples of fashion in K-pop. First, like I said, we'll bring back to the stage Red Velvet and Blackpink. Yes, these girls might have had some bad outfits, but we really need to discuss the good ones too. Starting off with the most recent example, Red Velvet styling for Feel My Rhythm is absolutely gorgeous. I will agree that the outfits do not look the most comfortable to perform in, but somehow the girls don't really seem to be uncomfy. I don't know if that's just because the tutu design of the skirt is more comfortable or they've just adapted. But visually speaking, I think no one can deny that these outfits are gorgeous, unique, they look beautifully aesthetic together and fit the song. And come on, they make the girls look like dolls. And let's take a second to appreciate that these outfits are custom made by this amazing stylist. So please show her some love for her hard work on her Instagram because these aren't just clothes, these are pieces of art. Similarly, I really like these outfits from Blackpink's Kill This Love. This is the best example of styling that immediately makes you think of an era. Like, these clothes are now forever branded Kill This Love core. I think this was Blackpink's first comeback where they dressed sort of matching, and it worked incredibly well. Here are some other great Blackpink and Red Velvet outfits to make up for all the slack I gave them before. A point that a lot of K-pop fans bring up, and one that has a lot of truth to it, is the fact that very often small companies kill it with stage outfits. As an example, I will be presenting Loona, Dreamcatcher, and Ateez. And by that I mean I'm going to be talking about them. It's not like they're here. Or are they? Nope, they're not, I'm sorry. Hey stylists from big companies, this is how you combine patterns. In most outfits I've seen from Loona and Dreamcatcher, they all seem to be comfortable and perform freely without worrying about anything being too long or too short, but they never compromise on cuteness either. As for Ateez, they've had iconic and pioneering looks. I mean, just look at Hongjoong's semi-skirt. That's going in history books. And while we are appreciating stylists, a lot of Ateez's clothes are specifically designed and crafted as well. So guess what? Another moment of appreciation for the beautiful minds behind all of these creations. I'll try to link all these stylist Instagrams in the description so that we can all share some love for the artists behind the scenes. And while we're talking about good fashion practices, a thing that I want to bring attention to that perhaps not many people are aware of are these outfits from Red Velvet in their Queendom era. Yep, we're talking about sustainable fashion in K-pop. These outfits were all upcycled, reusing old materials and making something entirely new, and possibly more stylish and of higher quality. This is a great decision for K-pop moving forward, since certain stage outfits are only used once or twice before being discarded. So it's nice to see changes like these among celebrities. It shows care and concern over just mindless spending on huge designer brands that are actually very unethical in their practices, whether it be child labor, underpayment, animal cruelty, or major price hikes. Also, a huge trend that has been happening for a few years is the stylized hanbok, from BTS during Idol and continuing with Blackpink and Stray Kids. This is a beautiful way to show off Korean culture and the beautiful style and aesthetic of their national garment, but of course, remixing it into a performance piece. And those are just some positive fashion trends I hope to see in the future. And that is all for this video essay. Wow, it was long, but I hope you liked it because I've been working on this video for so long now. Hopefully, through this video, you got a better understanding of the dark side of K-pop fashion. I in no way meant to paint stylists as evil or vicious. That's not the case at all. I'm just providing context, insight, and my opinions to showcase a side of the industry that usually doesn't get to be seen from all perspectives. And lastly, I want to take a moment to appreciate stylists that work in the industry. It's a hectic lifestyle with a million critics and opinions, but to consistently work and thrive in the industry is a huge feat. So claps for all of you, and also claps for me for somehow making it through this entire video. And losing my voice slowly in the process. So please subscribe and like this video for my efforts, and I would love to hear what you thought about this video. And I hope to see you in my next video. Till then, stay safe and
shake that booty, Dina.